With that, viewers, we're beginning this segment of the bulletin with our focus on the Delhi apocalypse. And yes, it's a thick cloud of smoke that could be seen shrouding Delhi NCR as well as Haryana at this given point. Early morning, the visibility was almost zero at this given point. In fact, zero visibility had been reported in Haryana's Rohtak itself. That was how bad the situation was. Vehicles could be seen cautiously moving through this entire cloud, the blanket of smoke that had completely shrouded this very region. And Delhi now has reported an AQI in the severe category, again with Grap-IV having been invoked. This is the current situation in the very national capital, as the respite, the short period of respite that the residents of this area, of this region, of the national capital region, had been given toward the end of November and the beginning of December, that period seems to clearly have been over, and it has come to an end as the AQI has completely plummeted again, this time in straight to the severe category, with the air quality index going as far as 441 on Saturday itself. Even this morning, we could see that all across Delhi, the AQI had been recorded over 400 itself, which is extremely concerning at this given point. Even now, we see it's 9 a.m. in the morning, but sunlight can hardly be seen outside, given the current situation of smog across the national capital region. And as winters are to only escalate, with temperatures going lower and lower in the upcoming days, the air pollution crisis still remains to have a big concern, still remains to be a big concern, which this region is grappling with for years on now. And there seems to be no solution. While the Grap-IV has been at this given point invoked, with schools going back to hybrid mode, all construction activities having been stopped in the NCR region. But how much, these are all measures that are taken as a result of the air pollution, as a result of the AQI plummeting yet again. What is to be done to make sure that this situation is not the same year on year? That is the question that the residents are asking to the government at this given point. And when we speak of the vulnerable groups, the elderly, the children, those with pulmonary disorders, they really do get affected with the AQI plummeting to such high levels. In fact, there are some places where it's almost touching the severe plus category, and that is in fact what seems to be the situation, or rather that is the situation that experts have said will come about in the national capital region in the upcoming time. So this is the latest updates that we are bringing to you in this very story. Ashutosh Mishra joining me on the broadcast with more details on this and ground reports on this. Ashutosh, very good morning to you. Do help us understand where you are exactly. This morning, the visibility was completely zero in Delhi NCR. We could see the thick blanket of smog having returned and only has gotten worse from what it was before in November.
Absolutely, and perhaps Shreya, every year almost we have seen that by first week of December or by last week of November, often meteorological factor improves because of the western disturbance. At least a round of wind speed or one session of a small rain usually clears this. But this time what has happened, even the meteorological factors are adverse against the situation. I'm here at Kartavya Path in New Delhi. In fact, the previous report that you saw from Akshardham, Noida, Greater Noida, Ghaziabad. So eventually the President House, which is barely a kilometer from here, is literally invisible, have been totally disappeared. And since yesterday, there have been a formation of this fog in the northern belt. So if you see parts of Haryana, Punjab, even the eastern Rajasthan, northern Madhya Pradesh, all these areas remains under cover of a dense fog. And because of these factors, the cloud movement and a western disturbance, this formation is likely to continue for another couple of days. And because of that, since there is no wind speed, the surface wind speed need to be as high as at least 20 kilometer per hour, more than that. And for last 1 month, we have seen the wind speed hasn't crossed 20 kilometer per hour. The surface wind speed remained 10 to 15 kilometer or even a 5 kilometer. And because of that, all these pollutants have been suspended, remain suspended in the lower surface, and because of that, because of the fog, now we see yet again still coming and settling it down. And that's exactly why even the CAQM says it is a meteorological factor and low wind speed that has contributed, making it deteriorating. In fact, just turning the camera on the other side 180 degree, very close to India Gate. The visibility itself explains. However, there are two threats now. Because of the low visibility, it will affect eventually the transportation in NCR and the outer Delhi, outer NCR parts of when you are heading towards Punjab and Haryana. So eventually that also need to be a caution, turning your fog lamps on and that. But at the same time for NCR, what happens in the deteriorating air quality, it is going to pollute it further, and that's exactly why the Grap-IV rules have been invoked by the CAQM, where is it mandated no mining will take place, dust pollution need to be contained, no burning will be allowed, schools in Delhi to go on hybrid mode. In fact, the Delhi government has asked the institutions to run with a 50% capacity and rest is work from home, which is a hybrid mode of the working. All these are emergency measures, but this seems to be too late for even taking such kind of step. The one and only intervention at the moment is required to clean this air is the nature. Unless there's a high wind speed or a rain shower that comes up, clearly there is no going to be respite anytime soon. And what I'm tracking the meteorological data, there is no such possible scenario developing, at least in the near future, at least for a week.